Hi there, I'm Forrest, a developer on LunaTrace, and today I'm going to show you our new environmental risk adjustment system. This is a new system we've been working on for the last couple months to try to filter and bring down the noise level of all the vulnerabilities that tend to show up in an app. Often vulnerabilities are just in the tests, or they're just in a folder of examples. Maybe it's a vulnerability that can only occur on the front end, but you're seeing it in your back end node application. There are a lot of variables, and we wanted to try to create a system that could handle all of them. So this here is uh, Express. This is actually Express itself that I cloned and doctored a little bit for this demonstration. And if we go over to the risk adjustment tab here, you can see that I've already configured this as a backend project with internet access and probably PII as well. So you can just turn these on and off depending on what kind of app it is. Maybe it's a front end app. And that adjusts the overall project. That tells LunaTrace what kinds of things should it be most sensitive to. Now, maybe you have some additional folders that you want to fine tune. Maybe you just want to ignore something entirely. Or maybe you want to say that it's just a folder of tests. Or it's a folder where there won't be any PII. So we have this configured here. We could add more folders. Globs are supported if we wanted to. Let's go and look at how this is adjusting our vulnerabilities that we're seeing. So here's our latest scan. So we can see we only have one critical vulnerability now, and it's gone from a 9.8 to a 10, so it actually went up. Let's see what we have in general below the critical level. We try to only show criticals at first because they're kind of the only thing that people seem to have time to deal with, but let's expand it to everything. So we can see here, Minimist is a high, but it was a critical. It's been adjusted from a critical at 9.8 all the way down to a high at 7.1. Now, why was that? It matched the path examples. Sorry, my cat's going crazy there. It matched the path examples, and you can see we've scanned your code. We've scanned the repo itself, and we've determined through static analysis that it's only occurring at this call site. And because that matches this path, we know we can apply the adjustment of tests, offline, and PII that we just configured a minute ago. So what's happening is pretty interesting because Minimus isn't even a direct dependency of our app. We are looking at the entire dependency tree and tracking from where the vulnerable dependency is all the way up to your code, and then what part of your code that occurs in, just like a real person would do. Something that basically no other tools we found will do. We actually consider the entire context, the entire tree of packages when we're trying to figure out how to rate and treat a vulnerability. Let's look for another one here. So we can see some of these have gone up. This is a direct dependency. Here's another one. Yeah, this is Lodash. Okay, so Lodash has gone from a high. Here's another one, Minimatch. This is a drastic one. This has gone all the way from 7.5 down to 4.5. Let's expand to see how it came in. Wow, look at that. 5 dependencies down, tracked it all the way back to the examples directory, and applied the adjustment. So this doesn't just adjust things down or up arbitrarily. What it does is it looks at the published vulnerability data from MVD, and based on the way they've classified the vulnerability, the rating system that they've devised includes all kinds of metrics about uh, what situation of vulnerability matters most in. Does it have PII? Does it require internet access to be exploited? Does it can it only be exploited locally? And they factor all of that into their scores, but they also publish that data and a system through which we can do the math to incorporate environmental information back into the score. So we can adjust the scores ourselves. It's just part of NVIDIA's system, but it's not often used. So, and it's not easy to understand either. And that's a big part of why people don't use it, I think. So we've gone through and condensed that into those easy things like, is this a backend app? Is it a front end app? Is this a test folder? And we've basically taken a really educated guess at how to adjust the vulnerability based on that. So not every vulnerability is going to be affected the same. This one went down from 7.5 to a 4.5, but if it was a different vulnerability with these same adjustments, it could have conceivably gone up. So this is really making intelligent decisions, as intelligent as the data allows, to rate and adjust vulnerabilities to save you time, and bring the most serious vulnerabilities up to the top so you can deal with those first. So yeah, that's the feature in a nutshell. Thanks for watching.